Hey friends, happy Monday. Today is April the 6th. It's the birthday of my mom and my son-in-law and a good friend, Alden Baudouin. So I hope all of you are celebrating today. I know it's kind of hard to celebrate a birthday in these conditions. I'm sitting here on a Monday and just realizing that I have been really questioning a lot of things that's going on in the world. And I see you guys questioning the same things. My text messages have been blowing up. My private messages have been very, very brisk. I have had lots of conversations with lots of friends and new friends about what is going on. What's going on with this virus? I posted some questions above, and you might have seen them by now, you may not, but here's some of my questions I'm pondering, and you probably are too. Why are some people dying from COVID-19 while others are recovering? It's a good question. Lots of people are asking. Why is this country shut down over a virus whose numbers are like not that big of a deal? The math's not adding up. So that's something to ponder. Why is the news covering all of this information about an injectable treatment? These are questions, just a few of the ones that I see people asking. All right, so now I'm going to ask you another set of questions. Are you overweight? Do you have type 2 diabetes? Have you been told that you have a metabolic disorder? I know that's kind of a big term. You may recognize that more so like in high blood pressure. That's a metabolic disorder. Unhealthy cholesterol levels. That's another metabolic disorder. Heart disease, abdominal fat. You guys, America is the most obese country in the world. We have been sick for a long time. So this COVID thing, to me, it's exposing a lot of things that we needed to get awakened to begin with. And so that's really why I wanted to go live with you today and just record a video to share over and over and over again to help answer some of these questions and to provide some encouragement and to connect some dots and even provide some resources. So I'm gonna have a whole list of resources in the comments once this video is done. So be sure and look in the comments of the original video. All right, let's kind of lay some groundwork. So I've been a student of this kind of thought process and this kind of awakening for more than 7 years. I was forced to look into this kind of stuff because I faced a scary diagnosis and a stack of prescriptions. I have addiction that runs in my family. Some of you are close to us and you know the situations. And I had this fear of becoming addicted. So I literally started praying and asking God to show me ways to heal my body naturally. And over that last 7 years, I have been sometimes really in-depth learning all this stuff, and sometimes I've just kind of been surface. But this last 3 months, I have gotten back into a really deep understanding of what is wrong with us, what is wrong with our bodies. First and foremost, I believe that the body was created to heal itself. We just have to give it the right environment. And a lot of people don't understand what that looks like. They think the secret is in a pill or a supplement or even an essential oil, and it's not. The problem stems back to our food. We, like I said, we are the most obese country in the world. Did you know that a lot of the people who are struggling with a weight issue are actually malnourished? It's true. Our food system is broken. It's been broken for a long time. And there's definitely some corruption behind why our food system is broken. And I want to kind of hover over that a little bit. And we're just not going to proceed with fear that some of these truths would come back to be a problem for anybody that wants to speak them, including me. So if you go back to the green revolution in the mid 1900s, there was big money, Rockefellers, to name a family of elite, that were behind supporting genetic modification of food. Now, I don't know where you are on that spectrum in your belief system, and the only thing I'm asking you to do is have eyes to see and ears to hear what I may be saying, and that you go and do your own homework. Don't take what I'm saying as like the gospel. Go do your own homework. Now more than ever, you guys have time to get on Google and learn this stuff. And now more than ever, Google is not censored. So you can find this stuff easier than I did 7 years ago, okay? So, green revolution, genetic modification of food. Food became frankenfood, created in a lab, genetic modification of the seeds. Food was created to withstand the chemicals being sprayed on them. So you've got huge corporations like Monsanto. You've seen the class action lawsuits. You've seen all the drama. You've probably watched documentaries about Roundup, glyphosate. I do this little scan, and this is definitely not to promote this, but this scan is a class 2 medical device certified by the FDA. And I get to scan people and see what their stressors are. And 99% of people who I scan have glyphosate on their stressors. So that tells me that your body is responding negatively to the chemicals that are being sprayed on the food. So you've got this lie that was brought about to make us believe that the country and the world basically is going to starve unless we find ways to create laboratory food to feed the world. That wasn't doing anything but feeding the pockets of people who were creating the glyphosate and creating the GMOs, okay? So that was never tested on people, but you've got convenience foods that are products of all of that manufacturing. You've got boxed, processed, quick, pick-me-up foods that working moms, working dads can easily come in, open up a box, pour product, a food-like product, into a pot of boiling water, add a little bit of protein to it, and you've got a helping dish for your family to fill their tummies, okay? You've got a sugar industry that up until this past few months haven't been required to label the percentage of sugar in your food products. Check it out. Your food labels, if you know anything about reading food labels, and this is outside of calories, fat, fiber, all the things, you want to read the ingredients. If it has more than 5 ingredients and you can't pronounce them, you probably need to put it back on the shelf. But going back to sugar, you ever notice the U.S. daily allowance percentage of all the different parts of your label? There's not a percentage besides sugar. Those are changing, but for the last forever, our processed food has not had a percentage of sugar. And the reason why is the sugar manufacturers do not want you to know how much sugar is in your food. So when you look at some of the science behind what is in the food, there's no doubt why we are fat, sick, and nearly dead. There's no doubt that type 2 diabetes is rampant, and it's completely curable. Type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset, and now there are children, young toddlers and babies with type 2 diabetes. So we have to figure out what is wrong with our food. Our food should be our medicine. I'm going to give you some resources, and I'm not going to get on a huge soapbox and teach from that point. I'm just trying to connect some dots for you. So if food is supposed to be our medicine, and food is all jacked up with laboratory creations full of sugar, then how is it our medicine? Who's it benefiting? All of us have gone out and stocked up on groceries so that we can stay at home for 2-3 weeks or a month, right? You bought shelf-stable groceries. So go look at those labels. You're home, so you're like, oh, let's just make some cookies. We're guilty. We made brownies last night. Of course, they were gluten-free brownies with farm fresh eggs and good coconut oil and organic milk. But still, we caved. We made some brownies, and they were delicious. First time I've made them in a long time. My point is, we are feeding ourselves things that we think are food to keep our bellies full, and then we're getting sick. So we can't control this virus that's going around, but we can control the host. Now, if you look at my original question, why are some people dying from COVID and some people are recovering? The science has shown that the people who are having the worst time with this virus are the older generations, the ones who have other illnesses, other challenges, smokers, type 2 diabetics, people who have been diagnosed with heart disease, obesity, cancer. They're immune compromised. God help them. Because them as a host and this virus, it's not good. So those people that are doing better and recovering better, I'd love to see the studies on that. Are they people who eat organic, non-GMO, cook at home, avoid fast food? Are they the ones that eat whole food, God's food? Is food their medicine? Have they always been preparing their bodies through diet, exercise, the right supplements, probiotics, enzymes, things that have helped their body and their terrain in their body be able to create a strong immune system? I think the numbers are going to show that. So, why is this country shut down over a virus? I believe there's an agenda. I actually believe that there's many, many agendas, and somewhere in the middle there's the truth. But what I believe is that this stuff that I've been studying for over 7 years on big food, if you look at it, all these people are in the same industry. Big food makes people sick. You go to the doctor, you get a prescription. It's like a cycle. It's like big food makes you sick, go to the doctor, you get a prescription. The prescription leads you back to the doctor because you've got side effects, and then you need another prescription. Somewhere along the way, you're padding the pocket of big food and big pharma. It's absolutely nauseating. And I get busy. I have a successful business. I'm a mom. Got a lot going on, got a farm. So I get numb to it sometimes. But during this season of staying at home and like wondering what's happening, I have found that passion again. And I see it. I see the padding of the pockets all over again. When you look at all these people that are talking about, oh, we need a vaccine, we need a cure, we need this injectable cure. Look at the patent. Do your homework. Who owns the patent for coronavirus? Who owns the patent for COVID-19? Whoever owns the patent is also going to own the rights to the medicine. I'm excited to see our leadership in this nation deregulate some of the fat red tape that we know of. Being able to telemedical with your doctor is incredible. That's deregulation. Being able to use a drug that used to be for malaria and being able to label it and use it for COVID-19, that's deregulation. I'm hoping to see even more deregulation come back. As our president has said, we need to drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Get rid of the people who have been in Washington that have been voting things into existence to pad the pockets of Monsanto, Big Pharma, Big Food, all the things, right? Do your homework. You'll probably get as passionate about this as I have, or maybe you'll argue with me. It doesn't matter, because the truth is I've implemented the changes, I've taken care of the host, and I've been well, relatively well, other than allergies from, this yellow stuff floating through the air right now. But for the most part, I haven't needed Big Pharma because I discovered the food that can cure my body, that can heal my body. It starts in the kitchen. It starts with your fork. So my main thing here today is to encourage you to find some people to follow. Stop following the people that have been creating the problem. Thank goodness truths are coming out. People who are, best buddies in Washington. There's an agenda. It's not just in party lines. It's across party lines. Whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, it doesn't matter. There is a lot of corruption going on. I pray for a day that we can trust our leadership at a local and national level, that they're really doing things for our own good. Back in December, I felt the Lord giving me a word. And every year I have a word. This year my word is freedom. I didn't understand it in December. I thought it was more along the lines of time freedom, medical freedom, just kind of my own freedom because we were empty nesters. I was just thinking about those kinds of freedoms. Now it's becoming clear to me. We have to fight for our freedoms. We have to fight for our rights to be able to eat healthy food and be able to obtain healthy therapeutics without a prescription, without having to jump through red tape, and without having to pay out the nose for it. I've actually discovered learning about herbs and stuff. I've literally been going around the farm, taking pictures of plants and coming in and looking through Google and looking through books that I have on what does this plant do and how can it benefit me? Because before we had all this government red tape and all this big money conglomerate going on, we've always had our plants. We've always had our food. God gave us that. That was part of the environment He wanted us to have to keep us well. So I think it's time that we all go back to that. I think it's time we discover that. And I'm excited about this time freedom and this attention that people are wakening up. They're just literally going, wow, I had no idea, but I'm awake now. So that leads me into some of the other questions that I have listed. And I think I've kind of touched on those, but being overweight, having type 2 diabetes, having high blood pressure, unhealthy levels of cholesterol, heart disease, abdominal fat. If you have any of those, I beg you to do your homework. You do not have to be a slave to a medicine that's going to cure you. You're a customer right now. You're a customer of big pharma and big food. And until you make the changes of what you buy and put in your shopping cart and what you put in your plate and you put on your fork and in your body, you're always going to be a customer. You want to find cures, don't you? I did. I do. I don't accept that, well, my mama had it, my grandmama had it. I'm just going to have it. It runs in my family. Read about epigenetics. It's a real thing. When you create the environment in your body, those genetic switches never have the opportunity to switch on. You literally can take control over your life. So I'm asking you, do your homework. Do some studying. I'm going to post some links in the comments. The first one I'm going to tell you about is the movie Fed Up. Now, I watched this movie back when it came out. We've watched all the food documentaries, and they're all really good. Some of them you can tell that they've been funded by a group. There's a documentary I think is funded by people who don't like the fact that some people eat animals. So it's very vegetarian based. Some of them are funded, you can tell, by organizations that support an industry like beef or dairy or poultry. But there's some good nuggets in every one of these documentaries. And a lot of them are on Netflix, a lot of them are on YouTube, and some of them you can just get on Google, okay? So the one that I am really sharing with you today, and I have a link for you, is called Fed Up. We own the DVD to it. I bought it. It was released, I believe, in 2014, 2015, somewhere along there. It's an amazing documentary that really helps you to understand the problem with sugar and obesity in America. Really will infuriate you. Like, it will, if it doesn't get you up off your chair and into action, I don't know what will. But I'll give you the link. It's available on YouTube now. You don't have to buy the DVD. It's free. I've been replaying it again this morning. So good. Okay. Another recent recording is from one of my mentors, somebody I really look up to, is Dr. Mark Hyman. He's a functional medicine doctor, and he did a video the other day on YouTube, and I'm going to give you that link. It's about all of this. It's about COVID-19, but it's about supporting your body so that you don't get COVID or you heal from COVID just like you do a common cold. Okay. There are some books that I'm going to share with you. Dr. Mark Hyman's brand new book is called Food Fix. This identifies a lot of that corruption I was just telling you about, as well as plans on how you're going to do what you need to do to create the environment your body can heal in. Another one of my mentors is Dr. Eric Zielinski and his wife, Sabrina. This is Dr. Zielinski's book called The Essential Oils Diet. The subtitle is Lose Weight and Transform Your Health with the Power of Essential Oils and Bioactive Foods. So let me just say this book is about food. The name, the title is a little bit like, oh, do I have to use oils? Probably not. There's a lot of truths in here too about food, the corruption, the toxins that are in your life, and real tools on how to heal. Recipes, easy, delicious recipes. You may have seen earlier this year, Paul and I did a 60-day challenge where he and I went through the 60-day challenge based on this book. Paul lost 20 pounds, I lost 15. So 35 pounds between us in 30 days. It was doable. It was easy. It was accessible to anybody. Okay, so you can do your own challenge. You can connect with me and ask me what I can do to help you create a challenge. But that is one of my main tools that I'm referring people to right now. Another book, this is an amazing book. It is by a medical doctor who's also one of my mentors, and it's called Your Health Has Been Hijacked. The subtitle is And It's High Time to Take It Back. So Dr. Tom Reed, Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Eric Zielinski, along with Dr. Mercola, Dr. Dan Purser, and Dr. Oli Wenker are all people who I follow and admire and put out good content. There are more. I just quickly typed up 6 names of doctors that I believe in and that put out good content. So let me just let you understand too that I am not anti-medical at all. I'm anti-corruption. Politically speaking, there's so much of it going around, and I'm even going to give you a video that was recorded recently, I believe it was March 30th, that exposes a lot of the corruption. It names some of the people, you see them on press conferences every day, that are wrapped up in the money part of finding a cure or a treatment or an injectable for this time. Okay, so do your homework. Instead of getting rooted into the fear and allowing fear to take over your thought process today and in this season, let it go. I don't know I don't know what our future holds, but I know who holds our future. I have faith that God is still God. He is still in control. He created us. He created this world. He created the food. And I believe that this is also an awakening for people to get to know him better. That's another thing that I'll be happy to help you understand, is where my faith comes from, where my courage comes from. I know, and I'm confident, and I'm not afraid. So I want to share that confidence with you. I want you to become empowered. I want you to become awakened to what's available. I've been teaching my organization in my business to pray, to oil, and to pivot. And in that pivot, we are pivoting away from the panic. We are pivoting into the possibilities. Because until you decide to do that pivot, you're not strengthening your immune system. Panic, emotions, lack of sleep, staying up all hours of the night, eating junk food, all of those things are making you a big target for this COVID virus and cancer and diabetes and heart disease and everything you can probably name right now that's outside of some kind of rare genetic disorder. That lifestyle is keeping you stuck. Wake up. Wake up. I decided 7 years ago to wake up. I went from polishing nails to polishing my life, and now my passion is to help other people do the same thing. So what are you going to learn and what are you going to teach your family today to strengthen your immune system, to pivot from the panic, pivot into the possibilities, and into wellness for you and your body and your family from now on? It's available to you. So I want you to follow up on some of these resources that I'm going to give you. And I want you to comment. I want you to connect with me, and I want you to share with me your takeaways. I want to hear your successes. If there's one thing I'm addicted to, it's hearing from people who have woken up and applied the things and message me to say, wow, look what my body has done. Thank you for sharing this with me. And they're advocates and sharing with others. That's how this works. We have to turn off the TV and start chat with you guys at the end. So I hope you have a blessed day. You guys stay well. Bye-bye.